Are you looking for the best TVs? In this video we will look at some of the 4 best TVs on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. LG 65-inch B3 OLED 4K TV. Though you can find plenty of affordable QLED and LED displays, cheap OLED TVs are hard to snag. Currently, LG's B3 is the closest thing to a budget OLED, with the 65-inch model often on sale for $1,300 or less. Like the more expensive OLEDs we recommend, the B3 offers an infinite contrast ratio with perfect black levels and wide viewing angles. On the downside, the B3 has a lower peak brightness of about 600 to 700 nits. HDR content still looks good, especially with Dolby Vision support, but the brightest highlights you see won't pop with the same vibrancy that you'd get on Samsung's S90C, Sony's A95L, or LG's pricier C and G series TVs. The lower brightness also makes the B3 less suited for spaces with many windows that let in sunlight. On the plus side, the B3 has a 120Hz panel and HDMI 2.1 ports, just like many of LG's step-up models. This means it can support high frame rate gaming on a PS5, Xbox Series console, or PC. It also supports VRR, variable refresh rate. And the TV's WebOS platform gives you access to plenty of apps. It's important to note that LG just released a 2024 version of this TV, called the B4, but its specifications suggest only minor improvements over the B3. And right now, the B4 costs even more than our top pick, the Samsung S90C, so we don't recommend it as a budget OLED. At number 2. Sony 65-inch and 95L OLED 4K TV. The Sony A95L OLED is the absolute best TV you can buy for high-end picture performance. Like many of Samsung's OLEDs, it uses quantum dots to offer industry-leading color and contrast. But on top of that, the A95L boasts some of the highest peak brightness levels we've seen on an OLED and benefits from Sony's unique picture processing to produce superior image accuracy and upscaling. The differences can be subtle, but the A95L edges out other premium TVs in this class, including the Samsung S95 series and the LG G series. And unlike Samsung OLEDs, it supports Dolby Vision. Though not a huge benefit for a TV in this class, Dolby Vision is a nice perk since it gives the TV scene-by-scene guidance for rendering color and contrast when watching Dolby Vision content on popular services like Netflix and Disney+. The A95L is also one of the brightest OLEDs we've ever tested. We measured a peak of 1,500 nits with the TV in its most accurate professional mode. That's 50% brighter than its predecessor, the A95K, and about on par with LG's G4. However, Samsung's brand new S95D can get even brighter at a peak of around 1,700 nits. Sony's A95L is the premium TV champ to beat thanks to its unrivaled picture accuracy. Stephen Cohen/Insider. But while the A95L's brightness can't quite match the S95D's, its overall image quality remains our favorite. The TV's proprietary picture processing does an excellent job upscaling lower quality sources, so cable TV and HD streams show fewer flaws. And Sony's tech still leads the industry in delivering the most accurate picture for the best home theater experience. We also like how the A95L's glossy screen preserves black levels better than the S95D's matte screen in a bright room. But, the S95D is better at reducing reflections. The A95L's Google TV operating system works well, so you can stream all your favorite services with simple navigation. A handy voice remote is included with Google Assistant, and it has a convenient backlight that activates when you pick it up. Sony even includes a webcam for video calls and gesture controls. The TV also has some nice design perks, including a stand that can be set up in one of 2 orientations, low profile, so the bottom of the screen is nearly flush with your entertainment console, or high profile, so the TV is lifted a bit to make room for a soundbar in front. And since this year's model uses left and right feet rather than a pedestal design, the low profile option no longer causes the display to lean back. As far as high-end displays go, the A95L is a nearly flawless TV. Its only real drawbacks are its limited number of 120Hz HDMI ports, just 2, and its lack of 144Hz PC support. But if you have the funds and want the most impressive picture quality that money can buy, the A95L is the best TV to get. At number 3. Hisense 65-inch U7K QLED 4K TV. Hisense's U7K is easily one of the best TVs for under $1,000. It offers a brighter picture and a higher refresh rate than the step-down U6K, but still costs less than a lot of similar TVs from other brands. The U7K's QLED panel can deliver up to 1000 nits of peak brightness, which is fantastic for a TV in this price range and nearly double what you get on the cheaper U6K. And the TV's mini LED screen uses more dimming zones, so you get better contrast control. During our testing, we saw deep black levels and encountered no notable halos around bright objects. When it comes to gaming, the TV has two HDMI 2.1 ports, so it can support high frame rates and variable refresh rate (VRR) with full 120Hz compatibility on a PS5 or Xbox Series X. Its refresh rate can even go up to 144Hz with a PC, which is especially rare for a set in this price range. You also get solid smart TV capabilities via the display's Google TV interface and Google Assistant remote, but navigation can be a little sluggish. Compared to more expensive QLED TVs, the U7K has some drawbacks. HDR highlights can't get quite as bright, and you might notice some minor brightness fluctuations and uniformity issues here and there. The TV's viewing angles are also mediocre, so color and contrast degrade if you sit off to the side. Still, it's hard to fault the U7K too much for these cons since it does so much right for such an amazing price. Buyers should note that there is a new 2024 version of this TV, called the U7N, to consider as well. It's listed as offering an even brighter picture, but it costs over $1,000, so we think the U7K remains the better option for the money. At number 4. Samsung S90C 65-inch 4K OLED TV. The Samsung S90C is our pick for the best TV you can buy right now. It delivers top-notch image quality with a few picture performance perks you won't find on other sets in its price range. The S90C has a 4K QD OLED panel. The QD before OLED means it uses a screen technology called quantum dots, which can deliver nearly unrivaled color performance. The S90C is the most affordable QD OLED on the market, giving it an edge over similarly priced LG and Sony OLEDs that don't use quantum dots. For the money, the S90C is simply the best 4K TV we've tested. The display can achieve a peak brightness level of about 1000 nits, which helps the S90C deliver vibrant high dynamic range (HDR) images. That's still not as bright as top QLED TVs, but the S90C's OLED panel gives it pixel-level contrast control, which results in deeper black levels and more precise highlights without any blooming. The only notable feature the S90C is missing is Dolby Vision support. Without getting too into the weeds, Dolby Vision is regarded as the best HDR format, and it's supported on Sony and LG displays. However, the benefits of Dolby Vision are subtle, especially on TVs that get as bright as the S90C, so we don't consider this a deal-breaker. You can learn more about different high dynamic range formats in our full HDR guide. Though not our favorite smart TV platform, the S90C's Tizen interface works well enough and gives you access to all the best streaming services. And Samsung is the only TV brand that supports the Xbox Game Pass app directly on its TVs, which lets members stream Xbox games without a console. The TV also supports a smooth 144Hz refresh rate with a computer, a feature missing on some similarly priced LG and Sony models. Samsung does sell more expensive OLED TVs that get even brighter, like the S95C OLED and brand new flagship S95D OLED, but it's hard to beat the S90C's overall value. There's also a new 2024 version of this TV, the S90D, rolling out to stores. However, the S90D costs considerably more than the S90C and is not expected to offer a big upgrade in performance.